Hello there, everyone. Welcome back, and I'm here to be talking about 13 Reasons Why. Now, 13 Reasons Why is the wildly popular and yet very controversial show exclusively for Netflix. This is one of the Netflix original shows, and I was one of the ones who I watched season 1 when it aired, and then I watched season 2, but I never really got around to reviewing them, even though I kind of wanted to. Like, in 2017 when season 1 aired, that was kind of where my schedule for like doing reviews and stuff was kind of all over the place. Like those first 2 years when I was starting, I had an awful upload schedule. I would like to think I got better. I get at least one video up a week, which is where my safe spot is. Where then I would get a video up maybe every 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. It was bad. So, and then around the time season 2 dropped for 13 Reasons Why, obviously I think it was Deadpool 2 that came out. And as I was watching the show, though, I was very busy with MegaCon, where I went with my friend, and I saw Solo, and I fell behind, so I had to do those videos. I was like at least 4 videos, so I couldn't review 13 Reasons Why, because by the time I did have time, it was too late, and the cycle was already done. Well, with season 3, though, I thought, well, I've watched the whole show so far, so I'm going to do something new. I usually like to do videos for separate seasons, but here I decided, you know what, I'm going to put all 3 together, and I'll just talk about each season. And here they'll be in season 4, so I'll definitely review season 4 whenever they make and release it. But yeah, so how this will work is I'll talk about each season, like I'll start with season 1 and move on, and I'll put in a time code in the description for when I start talking about each season. So, and at the end of each one, I'll give my review of it. But make sure you stick to the end so you can see what I thought of season 3 overall. Alright then, so we're going to talk about season 1 of 13 Reasons Why. Now, it's based off the book series of the same name, and it's basically about this girl, Hannah Baker, who tragically kills herself, and the boy that really liked her, Clay, who's your main protagonist in the show, gets this set of tapes, and there's 13 of them, basically, and each one was a reason why she killed herself, and he was one of them, so he wants to know why. So basically, the whole show is like a mystery on why she did it, and the immediate aftermath and how everyone feels about it afterwards. Now, for a show like this, obviously, it's going to be really controversial. It deals with a lot of serious issues, like the overall show does. But this season in particular dealt with suicide, rape, lots of bad stuff. And for the most part, I was like, when I first saw this season, I was like, I don't know where all the hype is about. Because when watching it, like, it just, like, characters did not act like how, people would act. It felt like they were, doing it how the script was telling them to. These kids were acting so melodramatic, and that's how, like, the whole show is really. But in that first season in particular, it was really bad. No one was really talking to each other. They were all, like, just off on doing their own stuff. And I'm just like, what the heck? The school is easily one of the worst schools I've ever seen depicted in a show. The teachers and everyone suck. It's ridiculous. The parents are oblivious. Lots of those tropes show up in season 1. It really annoyed me. And a lot of her reasons for why she eventually did it, like, some of them are really, like, I get it. Like, but a lot of them are just stupid to blame. Like, the reason for Clay, I mean, I won't really get into spoilers if you haven't seen it per se, but just some of these people that she blamed was stupid. Like, it wasn't really their fault. And most of the time it was her, like, getting mad at them and they didn't really know what to do. Like, you know how kids are. So, like, it's kind of ridiculous that most of these kids that are pretty, like Clay, didn't really do anything wrong and so forth. Like, they were just blamed. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, it's like, I mean, the performances all over the board were great. Like Dylan Minetti, who plays Clay, I think he's a fantastic actor. I really liked him in Goosebumps, where I first saw him in. He was fantastic in Don't Breathe, which was one of my favorite horror films of the decade. It was so great there, and he really, like, was him and this other girl and Stephen Lane, like, they were really carrying the movie because there was only 3 people in the movie overall. He did a great job there, and he's done really well in this show. Like, he's playing it really dramatically, like how everyone is, which could annoy some people. I totally get it, but I just think, like, with what he's given, I think he's doing the best he can, and I think he's doing a really good job in some of these scenes. Like, it gets really, like, especially going forward, he does a really great job. Like, really, like, a lot of the scenes that are depicted, like, I know the show stirred up some drama about how the depictions in the show have tragically influenced other people to so it could be really tricky on how you do a show like this. But season one I thought was pretty poor overall. Like, it has its moments, like really great performances from Catherine Lamford, who plays Hannah. Dylan Minetti is Clay. I mean, like, the other supporting cast, like, there wasn't really that many. I mean, it tells you the reasons why they did it and all, but it doesn't until you get to the other seasons where you get more development for those characters. So unfortunately, I didn't really like any of the characters in the show, and I hate how it ends obliviously, which a lot of people liked. Like, apparently season 2 onward is not based off books or any previous material. Season 2 and 3 is like original from the creators that wanted to do more, to milk the show for more cash on Netflix. But I honestly thought those other 2 seasons that came out, which everyone hates for some reason, I mean, I thought those are way better than this. So, but yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on season 1 of 13 Reasons Why. All right, season 1 guys down. Let's move on to season 2. So season 2 picks up about a few months after or so, and it's the overall season. Like, season 1 overall was the tapes and why she killed herself. Season 2 is about the trial for mostly Bryce, and everyone that was on those tapes is getting questioned because the tapes were leaked to the authorities and the parents and stuff. So they're all being questioned, each one by one, about why she killed herself and if the school should be held responsible, if Bryce will get in trouble. And I mean, it's basically like, overall, I really liked it due to the fact that I just really like court dramas, and I just find them very interesting. Like, I'm one of those guys, like, growing up, I would watch ID, a lot of those shows on there I watched growing up. I didn't really want to, but I started to really, they're a part of me. I watched them. I watched Law and Order, stuff like that. Like, it's really interesting too. Like, I'm not really interested in it going forward in my life, but watching them and seeing how they play out, it's really well, like captivating. I was really interested in how they were doing it, and it gave more layers and actually good character developments to a lot of these characters that were just on these tapes. You just didn't really care. But now it gives more developments. It shows different layers to Hannah, and being like, well, I mean, one of the complaints that a lot of people have is like, they're trying to make it righteous. Like, this was the only way for her to get justice by the end in her own life. And season 2, it shows no, she clearly didn't have to do that, and she just thought that was her only way. But there was lots of instances where it wasn't the only way, and some of the stuff that happened was shown to be her fault, and like how she advanced on people and a whole bunch of stuff. And it became really, like, it showed all different sides of the characters, which I found really fascinating. And it gave more development for some characters. It went dark, and really dark for some characters, like Tyler. Oh my goodness, the finale of season 2 was probably one of the most cringe, shocking moments I've seen in a show, and it made me really disgusted. And especially when they ended on the cliffhanger they did, I felt sick. I was like, I don't want to keep watching this. This is ridiculous. But luckily, when we talk about season 3, it gets better. But I just, like I said, the best thing in going is, like, it develops the characters. It actually does something with them. It does unique stuff with them that you weren't expecting. It has the court drama that makes it very interesting. And it has freeness that it doesn't have to copy off the books, so that people who read the books don't really know what's going to happen, because it's really well done. I thought season 2 overall was pretty good, but it isn't without its controversy. Like, a lot of the stuff in it, like especially the finale scene, it was really overly graphic and really disgusting. And the show kind of has a flaw where it goes overboard with what it's trying to depict in its shows. Like, in season 1, where it actually shows Hannah kill herself, like, in the tub and everything, it was awful to watch. And I hear they're removing that because a lot of people really did not sit well with that. They should probably change up how the scene did with Tyler, because I thought that was even worse, and it made me feel sick. Like, I really felt sick. I was like, why'd you make this happen? And it was just really disgusting. I felt awful. And if a show makes you feel like that, I can understand if that's when you turned off, because the show did, season 2 got a lot of bad reviews. Like, it was a downturn from season 1, which I totally get. But with the different character developments and the court drama and some really more good performances from the overall cast this time instead of just the main two. I thought season 2 was still an improvement of season 1, but I totally understand if you guys are turned off by it because it is kind of a mixed bag. So those were my thoughts on 13 Reasons Why season 2. Now we're on to season 3, which is the new one that just dropped this past week. And it takes place about, I'd say, a year later after the aftermath of the court drama. And now it's a murder mystery where Bryce, who is the main, bully and the one that raped Hannah and a bunch of other women, he was murdered. And basically the cops are looming in on, they think Clay did it, but obviously he couldn't have done it. So it's really down to who did it and is Clay gonna get framed for murder? And a whole bunch of other scenarios happen. And they bring back some characters that left after season 2. They come back for an episode. That was nice, little fan service there. And to try to, dilute the plot and what happened. But it really is interesting about all this stemmed from the Homecoming game. So watching it in the last 2 episodes, especially about what happened, was great. One of my issues, though, is that the show drags on a lot. There's lots of stuff in the show. Season 3 just lost it because there's so many scenes that are so unnecessary. There's lots of sex scenes in this show, in season 3 in particular. There wasn't any really in before, but here there's at least 10, and it got really annoying. Some episodes had 3 apiece, and I'm like, are you serious right now? I would have to skip because I didn't want to watch that. It made me feel uncomfortable. I don't like watching that stuff, and it was a lot of it was not even necessary with the plot. It was just filler or something to make you just sit there because some of these episodes are over an hour long, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Is that what we're doing? Some of them I guess had development for characters, but just overall it was really disgusting, and I was not interested. But a lot of the overall, since they have Clay being blamed, naturally you need a new character. They introduced a new character, which is basically each season has narration. For season 1, it was all Hannah narrating, from the tapes. Season 2 had, whenever each character was on the stand during the trial, they would narrate throughout the episode. And then season 3 had this new girl, Ani, who is basically throughout the season, you have her talking to the deputy Standall throughout the season. So telling him everything that's happened from the aftermath of season 2 all the way leading up to Homecoming, and then after Homecoming. It's just it's really interesting take. I like how they have this thread of everyone narrates throughout the show. My main concern, though, is while it does really great transitions, where it transitions from current time to past, some of those are fantastic. The main problem, though, is that the current time is all really dully shot. It's really black and white. Not necessarily black and white, but just the color tint is just abysmal. It's really bad, especially compared to the colorful daylights, tint of the past, making it think that it was better then, but it was still worse then. It was worse both times. So I'm like, what are you trying to convey here with your film tint? But it really threw me off a couple times, and I really did not like it. But that was just a personal opinion. But again, the performances here are really well done. It does go over the deep end, of course, in some situations, and a lot of the stuff that they show here is obviously filler. But when you sit through it and you get to the end, I don't know, it feels kind of satisfying. And also I really liked how everyone was complaining that I saw that they tried to humanize Bryce. He's a person. Oh my goodness, he isn't just this evil guy who just did this to women for no reason. He admits what he did was wrong and all. He still has those urges inside of him, and he's still evil. But it shows just some other layers to him for why he's like that. It doesn't excuse it because he still acts like a jerk throughout the season. But it just shows different layers that you wouldn't really see. No one really likes him after all this. Even at the new school, he gets bullied and stuff. So it's kind of justice in a way, since he got away with it at the end of season 2. But I don't know. You kind of feel bad for him, especially how he went out, even though he was being a jerk, and he did kind of ask for it with how he, was treating people and stuff. But I don't know. It was really interesting, and even the actor was saying he was really glad he was able to explore a different side of this character he was playing as, because he was just the stereotypical jock villain. but here he was actually had different layers and stuff. So I kind of like that they attempted that. Also, they tried it similar with Monty, but I did not like what they did with Monty at all. I really do not like that character in the slightest. At least with Bryce, they tried a bit harder, obviously, because it's not like they want you to feel bad for him, but it's just you kind of do, because even though he's awful and stuff, like, it was really brutal how he died. So it was really, like, I was like, what made the show so good in this season was that you didn't really know who did it until, like, even when you got near the end, you thought you knew it. It wasn't. But near the end, I was starting to figure out, okay, it's probably this person. And even I was half right, but still, it was, wow. The season 3, I thought, was a major improvement. Like, the show keeps getting better, but there's still lots of flaws per season. So I can understand if people do not like them. But yeah, like, also the performances were, of course, really good from the characters. But can't really not say that at this point. They're pretty well done. It's not like Riverdale. But, well, guys, those were my thoughts on 13 Reasons Why, Season 3. So there you have it. I reviewed all 3 seasons of the show. What'd you all think of it? Have you guys watched the show, or have you heard a lot of negative press about it and you decided to steer clear? Or you just don't care in general? Please let me know in the comment section down below. That would be pretty great. If you want to hit the subscribe button, that would be pretty cool. And hit the bell so you can get notified when I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's SoarSable @SableSawyer. Also, before I go, I should let you guys know that I know I was saying I would do a D23 video, but I didn't. I thought I'd have more time, but I don't have more time because I'm going away, because I'm going to Disney for about 4 days, and plus I have college classes. So I'm not gonna do a video for the Disney stuff probably. I'm just gonna go for fun because I just put up 2 of them like not even a month ago. So it's gonna be like a nice little vacation for me to relax, and I just have a lot of stuff coming up. So this might be the last video for at least a week or so. But thank you all for watching. I just thought I'd get my thoughts on 13 Reasons Why since I wanted to. But yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.